I became a millionaire in 365 days. It didn't happen overnight, though I wish it had. 365 days, that was my deadline, my sentence, my vow. I stood by the window watching the first snow fall with $473 in my pocket and a crushing feeling that I had failed my life. My wife deserved better, and our bills screamed the opposite. I made a decision. By the next New Year's, I would be a millionaire. It wasn't an ambition, it was a necessity. I quit the job that was sucking the soul out of me and spent the next 2 weeks obsessively studying. Not the financial markets, no. I studied human laziness. I noticed people are willing to pay not to do two things, shuffle papers and learn new things. I found a microscopic gap in that. I created a service, personal digital transformation assistant. It sounds complicated, but really, I just went into small businesses, law firms, dental clinics, and promised to move their paper archives and processes to the cloud in a week. I wasn't a programmer. I was an organizer of chaos. I used existing, cheap tools, Google Workspace, Trello, and simply customized them for a specific business. My first client, a small law firm, paid me $1,500. It took me 90 hours. A poor hourly rate, but it was proof of concept. I realized I wasn't selling a service, I was selling time and peace of mind. I immediately reinvested everything. For $500, I hired a student designer to create a professional, albeit one-page website. For $1,000, I bought a small ad campaign on LinkedIn, targeting small business owners. I started receiving 3 to 4 inquiries a week. I couldn't handle it physically, so I moved to the next phase. I created a standardized digitization kit, a step-by-step guide on how to do the work. I stopped doing the work and started selling the instructions and supervising their execution. I hired 2 freelancers, one in Ukraine, one in the Philippines, on an hourly basis. They did the routine work, and I conducted the initial meeting and the final audit. I was scaling up. By the 6th month, my net profit after all payments was $15,000. I forced myself not to spend anything. I lived on the same $473 I had at the beginning, withdrawing it from another account as if it were my last money. By the 8th month, I expanded the service. Now, I didn't just digitize, I offered monthly maintenance for $200, support and updates. This created steady, recurring revenue. Every new client now brought in money not just once, but every month. On the 300th day, I had 150 clients on recurring maintenance. That was $30,000 in clean monthly income. I was on the brink. I started sleeping 6 hours instead of 4, and for the first time in months, I allowed myself to have dinner with my wife at a decent place. The last month was about the exit. I found a larger IT consulting firm that only dealt with big business and offered to sell them my micro business. I had a polished system, standardized processes, and a stream of stable monthly income from small clients they weren't interested in handling. I sold them the system, not just the clients. The deal closed on December 30th. They paid me $750,000 upfront for the client base.